Let's say, based on the selection tool, LinkedIn seems like the best choice for you. This could be simply because you already have an account, so it's simpler for you to do this than set up something new. That's fine, and at the end you can decide whether it's the tool for you or whether you want to consider a different one. The digital transcript of LinkedIn is always accessed via your profile. If you go to your profile, you'll see that you have to scroll down past some other things and the experience section until you get to the transcript sections. I've chosen to add education, licenses and certifications, and skills and endorsements. There are more, and I'll show you that in a second. Start being more formal and get less so. With education, if say I decide that I want to add a new one, I have to add a school as soon as I get started. There are several that are suggested. If I just wanted to put random, any kind of university, I can do that, but it might be better if you choose one from the list. They also have some standard sets of degrees and so forth. I decide I don't want that though. For licenses and certifications, it's a bit the same thing. You start with who is the certified, what is the name of the certification? You could say like certified administrator Salesforce or something, and then search for that, and then put in the issuing organization. It is possible to just put in something generic and generic. That's okay, but it might be good if you use some of the predefined values on here, but I don't want that. And then skills, here's how you add a new skill, and here's how you edit the ones that you already have. If you say you want to add a new skill, and you say that I'm actually really skilled in e-learning, then I get plenty of suggestions there. I can add one by doing that, which I will not right now. You can see here that you have also endorsements, so your colleagues can say, yeah, I think that you're pretty skilled at that, and that gives you a little bit of credibility to adding that skill. But these are just the sections I have turned on. If you want to enter some other ones of examples of your qualifications, you can go up here to the Add Profile section, and here's the skills, and you can also add some accomplishments here. And this is what I mean by formal and informal. Maybe these are not tied to formal education, but you would like to add them as evidence of something that you've learned or delivered, or perhaps, for example, you're taking a single course that isn't part of a degree program, but when you finished it, you'd really like to put that here. You can do that. Any kind of honors and awards or anything. And you can see here also that I've included my languages. It's really up to you which of these sections you want to include, and it's quite flexible for what education you want to highlight. LinkedIn is highly flexible, which means it might be a little bit complex for you to get a complete profile the very first time. It's pretty easy to set up though. Here's how it looks when you're a brand new user and you've never established a profile before. So you can click on Join Now, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's not super scary. If you just put in your email and your password, you can join that way, or you can continue with Facebook. I personally do not like to link Facebook to any other application, so I do it this way. And then this takes you through some dialogues. And there is a little bit of legitimacy testing here. I can say I'm a student, and then I can put that in. So I don't want to go through the whole dialogue, but it does it leads you through the steps, and not so difficult to figure out. Let's continue to the next requirement, and see how it's possible to create a LinkedIn profile in a different language if this is important for you and the market that you're working in. Maybe you need one in addition to English or whatever. So I'm still in my profile. I click on my Add Profile section button here and say all the way down, I select Supported Languages. Here you can see, if I click on here, several languages available. So if I select Swedish, for example, I can get started with my new profile in the Swedish language with all of the headers in Swedish and the content in Swedish. You share your transcript or learning history from LinkedIn by sharing your entire profile. So this is why I've given it a partial rating or a half rating on the selection matrix. But sharing your profile is quite easy to do. If you are on your profile and you click on this More button, you can share a profile or download and save to PDF. If I click on the Share Profile and I put a name in here, I can type a name of people I'm connected to on LinkedIn, or I can just copy this link if I want to. And then if you use that link, I'll show you what you can do with it later. You can create a profile on LinkedIn at no charge and add any sections you like to your profile. There are several flavors of premium version which are targeted toward job seekers, recruiters, and salespeople, and for me, they're rather pricey at the moment, but if I would be seriously job hunting or I were in sales, it might be worth it, really, to leverage a network. For setting up your digital transcript, there's no charge or your profile. If you're interested, then you can always click here to try the premium free for 1 month. And then finally, we want to talk about how do we share a link with another person if you want to use the More button. So you can either export, if you remember, save to PDF, and you could upload that somewhere else if you like, or you can get the link. If you get the link, then you can use that as the source from wherever you like. So as an example, I have on my blog, on one of my posts, I've added a link here, and when I click on it, it will launch my profile in another tab. So as I mentioned before, I can't only share the transcript part, which is why I've given it a half rating on the selection tool, but using a link is indeed pretty easy. One important note that you want to keep in mind if you're going to be sharing links to your profile is your settings and privacy, or privacy as the English say. So if I just click on, again, the Me drop down and go on settings and privacy, you can see a lot of ways that you can control how your profile is viewable to other people. So here's a few ways you can get a bit more control. Another one you can do is, if you click on here, you'll see you can edit the custom URL, meaning the link. So maybe you don't want your name to appear in that if you're going to share it. You can decide which of the sections in your profile are public and which are not. Who gets to see your photo. And then all of these are, you can decide who can see them. So I hope this short demonstration was helpful for you to decide whether LinkedIn is the tool you want to use going forward to create your digital transcript. Thanks a lot for watching.